This Friday, see what critics are calling a cold-blooded masterpiece.
Hello, Finney. You're dead. Dead is just a word. Did you think our story was over?
Discover the secret
You brought us here for a reason.
behind the mask.
What do you think happens when you die? It's time to find out.
Ethan Hawke,
I'm not afraid of you. You should be.
Black Phone 2, only in theaters Friday. Rated R, under 17, not admitted without parent.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
1,
2,
3,
4.
Monster movie.
Fun time, go! Monster movie.
Fun time, go. Monster.
Movie.
Fun time.
Go!
Monster movie. Fun time, go.
With Precious D and Honey Bee.
Fun time, go!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, welcome to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. 31 Days of Horror. Mars Needs Movies. This year we are talking about movies of alien invasion, incursion, infiltration, and visitation. And my guest today is award-winning author of such works as Gil's All Fright Diner and the Constance Verity trilogy, A. Lee Martinez. Welcome back to the show, Lee.
Well, thank you. It's good to be back.
Do you got anything you want to plug straight up so we don't forget it?
No, not really. My books. I got my new book out with my agent though, so it'll be a while before
Okay.
it comes out. So we'll see
All
where
right.
it's going.
Well, holler at me when that's ready, and I will go check it out.
Perfect.
But we'll have links to Lee's stuff in the show notes.
Perfect.
So the movie we're talking about today is Rim of the World from 2019. Yeah, I gave you a list of movies to choose from, and this is the one you chose. Why did you choose this one?
Why did I choose this one? Well, I liked it. I mean, that's the first part. I liked it. And it also kind of reminds me of a favorite of mine, Monster Squad.
Okay.
I think Monster Squad's better, so for the record, but it reminds me of that in the sense of, sort of a kid's adventure movie with that tackles sort of I don't want to say serious, but a more, dangerous premise, but does so, I thought, in a way that I found really enchanting. I just really enjoyed the way the kids behave and the premise.
So you had seen it already and knew.
I had seen it already. Yes, I'd seen it when it came out.
Okay. It's directed by Mick G., written by Zach Stentz. And let's take a look at our cast before we get into it. Jack Gore as Alex, Maya Keach as Zhenzhen, Benjamin Flores Jr. as Darush, Alicio Scalzotto as Gabriel, Andrew Batchelor as Logan, Annabeth Gish as Grace, Scott MacArthur is Lou, Dean Jagger as Captain Hawking, Michael Beach is General Corey, Lynn Collins as Major Collins, Dave Thune is the head counselor, Tony Cavallero, he is on the Righteous Gemstones, this is where I knew him from, is Conrad.
Yeah, my wife, we were watching it this time and she recognized him.
Yeah. Carl McDowell is Carl. Good for you, Carl. Punam Patel as Angeline, Jason Rogel as Customs Official, Chris Wilde as Uncle Chris. Oh, also Chris playing himself. Rudy Mancuso as Wes, Amanda Cerny as Lucy, Alan Graff as taxi driver, Cameron Fuller as young soldier, Richard Gore as Alex's dad. Oh, that's the same last name. I guess maybe he's his real dad. Peter Paros as Darush's dad, Annie Cavallero. Oh, I wonder if she's related to, what's his name? Cavallero. Tony. She's the zipline instructor. and then some other people that were additional voices. Maybe they were on the radio, maybe they were aliens.
Sure.
I don't know. There's a rule of thumb that you can tell who the star of the sitcom is based on who's using their own first name as a character. But I don't think that's the case in this movie.
No, probably not.
Might have just been coincidences. It's, of course, in color and in English. It's 98 minutes. The budget is $19 million, but it was a Netflix show, so there's no box office to compare that to. Apparently, it didn't get good reviews, but I enjoyed it. You enjoyed it enough to want to watch it again and come here and talk about it. So I thought it was perfectly fine. It was fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun movie.
One of the kids was really annoying, and I could have done without him. Or they could have done something to make him less annoying. But the rest of them I liked just fine. I mean, there's always one in these things who's kind of the jerk. But you got to be careful. Yeah. You got to be careful with that. If they're too much of the jerk, you end up wanting them to get killed.
No one should have to choose between their own safety and their pets. But nearly half of domestic abuse survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Purina is helping to create more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters through the Purple Leash Project, so survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to learn more.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
So, it's the Rim of the World is actually the name of the summer camp that these kids have gone off to. Our kind of lead, Alex, is an indoor kid and is having a hard time of it. And an alien invasion happens while the kids are out and about, and they get separated from the rest of the camp, and they try to
and then they
make
get
their
the
way back.
MacGuffin, and they've got to get the MacGuffin to save to the plot point place to save the world.
Yes, at the very beginning, we see somebody on a space station who, for some reason, has the coordinates or whatever, and can only put them on a thumb drive and get in an escape pod.
The way that the contrivance is that it's invisible, like that's not, you can't detect it, the ship, like with sensors. Right. So it's only basically by you could probably make the argument that if the space station had been destroyed, she could have fed the coordinates, but
she didn't have time.
It got destroyed, so she didn't have time. Yeah,
that's fair. Yes, the email went down before she could send it.
Yes.
So she ends up crash landing and gives a thumb drive or something to these kids who then
the special key to the kids.
Yes, and they have to get it to an army base to save the day. I've noticed in the course of watching, so this is clearly in the invasion category. This is a straight up War of the Worlds. The ships just show up and start tearing shit up.
Yes,
and I've noticed in many of these that the situation tends to get resolved pretty quickly.
Yeah, just like in real life invasions.
It's just a matter of days. There are some. I don't know if I have any of them on this list, but I've seen some. There exist alien occupation movies where the invasion.
Yes, those are different. Yes.
Been successful, and we're thinking of spinning this off into its own show called Mars Needs Movies, and we'll get to those if we do that. But most of them, it's the invasion happens and then is quickly thwarted. Very rarely is it pulled off, and then we get a movie where we're dealing with the aftermath of that.
Right. That's kind of the contrivance of the story. I mean, every story is sort of telling. I've said this. I'll say this in my writing workshop all the time. Is like stories are not reality. They're not trying to write reality, and so it's really about what is the story trying to tell. Well, this is really, I mean, if you get down to it, it's just a story about these kids bonding, and each of them has like a little story arc, their character arc they're going through, and then a chance to have an adventure. And it's also a little bit of like I don't want to say kids movie because that's not correct, but it's like it's a fantasy for kids. It's an empowerment issue. We're like, you're the kids, you guys got to do this. And in many ways, we can make fun of that, but I'm like, well, so many movies are like that where it'll be like, oh, Joe Average is the only one who can save us from X.
Yeah.
So it's just that you clean up the aliens and you're done because the story really, once the characters have all gone through their growth, the movie's over.
Yeah. Right. Right.
you know
I mean, it's lots of different types of movies have this. It's just that you're the person who's there.
Yes.
It's not that they're the best person for the job. They're just the person that happens to be there. And this happens in real life too. The
Yes.
hero's just some guy and he says, well, I just did what anyone would have done. But they're the person that happened to be there. So it's your responsibility to save the world.
Well, and it's also it's the story of rising to the occasion, right? Like
Yeah.
again, there's nothing wrong with the story about X is the best in the world and he's the right person for the job. That's cool because
Yeah.
that's a fun story too. But there's plenty of stories where it's like, oh, it's like the least likely person, the unlikely hero,
Yeah.
And in this particular case, like the way the story is told, it's not really about like fighting an alien. It's not like you're a commando. Like that's not the
Yeah.
structure of the story.
No.
Like you could have done this story with adults. They could have done it too. It would have been different. It would have probably felt a little different. Probably would have been a little darker. But otherwise, this idea of you're the character that can solve this problem. Now, unfortunately, go solve this problem. is it's part of, again, it's part of the fun of a story of giving an unlikely character, or in this case, an unlikely group of characters, the goal of accomplishing something that's beyond out of their bailiwick, so to speak, and how do they do it?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and when it's done well, I mean, I think it's done well here. It's like it's not that you believe it, because it makes sense. You believe it because it's like, well, I get it. Intuitively, it works. Like you've justified it enough, and I'm also enjoying the ride. And like in this movie, like again, what I found charming is like that where they, like, where they're teaching Alex to ride a bike. Oh, that was fun. It's a good excuse to have him ride a bike. And then we get this fun moment of them like riding a bike, and you almost forget there's alien going on, or like that part where they get the Mustang. I think was it a Mustang, and they're like get to be cool driving down the street. It's like that's very much a wish fulfillment thing. And then of course the alien shows up and messes everything up. But but that part, it's like it's to me, it's also I want to say coming of age because it's not really a coming of age movie, but it is that thing about like what I like about these kids a lot, and all of them really. I mean, like you said, the one Dariush is like he's the most immature. He's the most immature, but even he kind of grows. That's the thing, right? And what I like about it is these kids are not particularly like immature, and I enjoyed that about it. Like it wasn't a story about like dumb kids. These kids are. That's why it reminds me of Monster Squad, because Monster Squad, again, those kids are pretty smart. They can handle this, and I find that to be rewarding without like breaking the rules. And so that part, like I said, when they're driving out of the car and it's like, yeah, cool, we're badass. Oh wait, there's a monster. Now we got to figure out how to get out of this situation.
Monsters spoil everything. Did you have a favorite kid?
Well, I mean, so Alex is sort of the central kid. He's the one. He's kind of the one that's built around. He's the first one where he meets. He's got the biggest sort of. I think he's got the biggest journey. Like the other kids all have their journeys. So I liked him a lot. I mean, I think they're all pretty good. I really like the dynamic, like that part. It's funny. I just did my writers conference, my writers group. We did our annual conference, and one of the things we were talking about is like tropes. Like we had a panel about tropes that are worn out, and can you defend them or get rid of them? And one of them was one bed. There's only one bed, and there's the scene where the kids like there's two beds, but there's four kids. And like that scene, I just found that scene so charming, and so that's what I really liked. I really liked the way that the characters kind of worked together and formed relationships. And again, Alex is kind of the central one. He's kind of the one that has the most, I think, to change and grow. And the camera points at he's the first one we meet, so the camera's pointed at him the most. But I really liked, especially the contrivance to make them all work together and give them problems that worked. I mean, it worked. I liked all those the growth of those scenes really well.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Jen Jen was my favorite. She was just adorable and kick-ass at the same time, and
Yeah, I like the part where she gives a speech about we're in Elysia, and then like they're at the Elysium Mall later. That was cute. That was a cute.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that she has that much growth because she kind of knows who she is and what she
Yes,
wants.
she's the most set. Yeah, she's the most
Yeah.
set. Which makes sense because of all the characters. Like she's the one. Alex is going because his mom wants him to go. Darius is going because it's like his last chance to really do that before his family's kind of broke. The other kid's running away. I forget the other kid. He's running away from his, his juvie problems. Where she's the one who had traveled across the world to go specifically to this. She's very driven, and that's cool. I mean, that's cool.
And possibly without permission. There might be people looking for her.
There was definitely without permission. That was definitely true.
Yeah. So, and she's also maybe is some kind of super scout. She has it's not a scout camp, but she has her own scout uniform that she's wearing at one point. She had the most costume changes.
Yeah, she definitely was. I mean, it was good, right? Because she's the one, like even that part where they're all yelling and fighting, and then she finally speaks up, and it's kind of like, guys, get your act together. Come on.
Yeah. They aren't sure she can speak English for a while because she just doesn't talk.
Yeah.
But she waits till she has something important to say.
That's right.
So, I don't know why the reviews are so bad. I mean, it's nothing we haven't seen before exactly, but neither. I mean, how many rom-coms are there in the world? It's all the same damn thing we've seen before. But I thought it was well executed.
Well, to me, especially because it's not a particularly long movie, so it's really only 90 minutes. Like it's 96, but like there's a bunch of credits at the end.
Yeah.
Like to me, I'm really one of the things I'm getting a little frustrated with in our modern world is, and again, I was talking to this in my writers' conference is people wanting to wanting to be too smart, right? Because like one of the things about this movie is I think this movie, like it's 90 minutes, it doesn't have a lot of time to waste. Everything's kind of laid out there in I think good ways, but like it's not particularly subtle, right? It's like here's Alex, he's the shy one, he's the scared one. All right, well that's gonna be relevant later. Here's the tough kid, but he's also kind of like he's the outsider. Like these archetypes are really well done. Just like the aliens, right? What are the aliens? Well, the aliens are just here to invade. We don't care.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people are like, I want it to be more. And I'm like, but I just want it to be good. and especially like, this is not like, and I hesitate to use like negative terms because it gets leveled at my writing a lot, which I get really frustrated with, where somebody will think, oh, it's just fun. But I'm like, well, this is more than just fun. It's well executed. There's a lot of really interesting. I mean, I could break down so many scenes I enjoyed. Like, I love the part where they're going to where they find the bus, right? And they're being rescued. Like, the film deliberately starts filming like it's the end of the movie. Like, these music swells, the camera's like, and it's not the end of the movie. We all know it's not the end. But the movie is even pretending for a second, like, we did it. We saved the world. And then, crap happens. And like there's a lot of really interesting things going on here, like, and I think sometimes we just get really hostile towards stories, and it's one of the hardest things to do. Is it the greatest movie ever? Well, no. Is it solid? Like when I watched it the second time, it's like it'd been a long time since I'd seen it. I was like, no, I'm really enjoying this. I think this is really good. And it's not because it's groundbreaking, it's just well executed. Like there's the part like where the kids, like where the general shows up and he tells them like, you kids got to leave. You can't do this. And the one kid's like, we have to do this. You have to let us do this, which is a great metaphor about like growing up and taking your place as the next generation. It's very straightforward, but it works really well. Like there's that great bit like where he's like, the general's like, I need one of you to do this. And he's like, and he sings like, I can do it. And he's like, is that a girl? Is that a young girl? But he's like, you're right, you got to do it. And and I thought like the alien was pretty generic, but it was kind of a fun alien. I love this implication of like that it's hunting them because it killed its dog. They killed its dog. Like I love that implication.
It's John Wick.
You don't know for sure why it's coming after them, but it definitely like was upset. And I love that implication. And and like that part at the end when like Alex is walking out of the ruins and like his friends are like, and he's like looking like a badass. I'm like, I buy it. I am so happy for this arc. And I just think sometimes people are just like, I don't know. I mean, again, everyone can like or dislike what they like, but sometimes I think people just come in with a lot of hostility towards simple, effectively executed, straightforward stories, as if that's a mistake, as if that's easy to do, and I get a little frustrated with that.
Yeah. So, what did you think of the alien? Speaking of the alien, I mean, it's a monster.
Yeah, it's a monster. It's functional. It wasn't. It's not one of my favorites. I mean, it works fine. I think they did a good job with it in the sense of it's this sort of menace, and it was genuinely menacing, which I thought was pretty fun. Like it wasn't a cartoon menace. Like it wasn't like you were like this thing was dangerous, and again the scenes were shot really well. And they didn't. Again, it wasn't gory, but they didn't shy away from making this thing like pretty. And like that part where the gang guys are gonna like kill them and take the key. Like that was pretty. That was probably the most menacing thing in it. And there's that that one of the darkest lines ever, which is like, "I trusted you," and he goes, "The cemetery is filled with people who trusted me." And I was like, "Oh,
yeah." I love that guy. He's in a bunch of stuff. I like him. He's good.
Yeah, he was good, and but that part, and then like, but there's that other line where the kid's like, Alex is like, well, just because you do the right thing, it doesn't work out, doesn't mean you shouldn't do the right thing. I'm like, that's a good. I like that. Like, I like these kids. These kids are good kids stuck in an awful situation.
Yeah.
So I just think it's real easy to be angry. Well, and it's like McG. I mean, first of all, I think McGee's fine director, but man, calling yourself McG, you're just asking for people not to like you.
I've enjoyed a number of his works, and the writer, a number of his things. I was looking at him earlier. He's done some stuff I liked.
Yeah.
Now this alien, though, I find in a lot of these that when we see the alien, I'm like, okay, these things built interstellar spaceships and laser
we don't
guns
know
and
that
stuff.
though.
They just
we don't know. We don't know. I mean, to be fair to the movie, we don't know if that's just like that could be like a genetically modified creature. There's no indication of what it is. Yeah, like there's no indication that it's necessarily one of the. I mean, I think that's the movie's strength, by the way, is that like we don't really see much of the alien technology. We don't see much of the aliens. Like since so much of it happens off screen to help on budget, it's also kind of like, well, like because there's that part, right? Even like where they say that, well, why are they invading? And he's like, I don't know. Like, and we don't know, and it's kind of irrelevant. So to me, you're right. When I was watching, I was like, this doesn't seem like the kind of creature that would be doing that. But I'm like, well, there's no indication that it has to be that. It could just be a thing they've unleashed on the world.
Right. But it could be, yes. But I've been watching a lot of these movies this month, and often the creature seems like not the technologically inclined creature.
Yes.
Also, they build ships. They can travel faster than light. And I don't mean just this one. And advanced weapons and stuff, but they never developed clothes.
Well, that's why again, this one we don't know how fast that ship travels. Again, there we had the advantage. They could have been a generational ship for all we know. But yeah, it's like that's what I always. Sometimes I'm like, oh, cool, I buy it. But like Cowboys and Aliens, which isn't very good. But like Cowboys and Aliens, you're like, well, these are advanced races. Why are they running around like naked? And they're like monsters. It's like they should be aliens. Like the original comic book, they are aliens who have like laser guns and stuff like that. Because it's like, yeah, that's what they are. It's kind of like you want to have your cake and eat it too. You're like, we want alien invasion, but we want monsters. And you're like, okay. It's why another one of my favorites is underrated. I feel is underrated is Battleship, because in that one, even though those aliens are tough and big, they're soldiers. They're clearly soldiers because that's what that movie is.
Yeah,
an alien navy has come to attack us.
Yeah,
but they have battleships. They have technology. They have plans, and it's always like, but you don't see that a lot. It's more like, hey, this thing came out because I want it to be awesome and neat.
That is the second time Battleship has come up, so definitely is on the list for when we when this becomes an ongoing show.
If this is an ongoing show, I will tell you right now, you will put me on. I will go on Battleship. Friggin' love Battleship. I will defend Battleship.
Okay.
As not just like I like this movie. This was cute, I will say Battleship is a great movie, and I will defend that.
All right. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yes, I will skip. So because of my normal co-host's schedule, both being in school and working, I was planning to have more guests on Mars Needs Movies than I do on the regular show. So I will definitely put you down for Battleship.
Put me down. I am
put
pro
that high
Battleship
on the list. Okay. I just, and the last time this came up, I said, the thing that tickled me about that movie is that they're throwing those bombs onto the ships. And I was noticing the shape of them. It's a cylinder with another cylinder poking out. And I'm like, well, that's a weird design. And then I was like, oh, they're the pegs from the game.
Yeah, they're pegs.
Because somebody was like, I got to fit something that has to do with this game
They
into this
have that
movie.
part. There's that part where
So-
we're getting off topic, but I'll go real quick. That part where like they can't see the ship and they've got to like fire based on like what they think. And I was like, they're playing Battleship. And I'm like, they did it. You magnificent bastard. You did it.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, stay tuned, folks, for our Battleship episode. We'll bring that, bumping that to the top of the list. Oh, well, okay. Anything else you want to mention before we wrap this up?
Well, again, I think I wish, as I said before, I wish people would not always think they have to be smarter than the movie, or that a movie that's just done well is dismissible. I think any story done well, even if it's just very straightforward, is a miracle. It's a miracle. And if you like this one, I think Monster Squad. I always mention Monster Squad. I think that's a great movie, and I think it's better than this one. I think it's got more edge to it. This one isn't too, well, it had some edge, but I think that, and Battleship's awesome. There you go. That's all I have to say. Also, buy my books. When you put the link on, buy my books.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. It did seem like some of the bad reviews, they were just kind of complaining that this is not as good as the 80s movies that it's trying to be. But,
yeah, I get that. I get that too. But again, I think that's nostalgia, right? I mean, like, sometimes you're going to look at something and you can't view it the same way. Yeah, it's definitely inspired by that kind of stuff. And I don't know, does it have to be as good? I don't know. And it's all kind of subjective anyway. I don't know.
Well, and is that movie really as good as you, not that Monster Squad's not great, but, is that movie as good as you remember, or is it just nostalgia?
No, Monster Squad is great.
Well, Monster Squad, yes. Monster Squad specifically is great.
Yeah.
But some of the other things that you love, it's just because maybe you were a child. And
right. There's lots of them where you're like, oh, this is decent, but it's not as great as I thought. Or this is cute, but it's not the same way. Yeah, no, I definitely think. But also, I do think, it's sort of this thing about inspiration. Like, clearly this is inspired by that. We're trying to do sort of a, that kind of story. But I think, and again, so I can't get mad at the audience, but sometimes the audience is like, oh, I saw where this come from. Yeah, we all saw where it came from. It doesn't mean it's bad. Again, there's a lot of, I'm trying, I sound like I'm very hostile to the audience. I'm not. You can't yell at the audience. The audience is right. But I do sometimes think there's a lot of, especially with the internet, I think it's made people like, everybody's an expert and everybody has like really these strong opinions of things instead of just being like, oh, that was pretty good.
All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there. Lee, thanks again for being on the show. Do check out his books, folks. I've got them all and read most of them, and I recommend them. They're a lot of fun. If you like what we're doing here, please rate and review and like and subscribe, and consider checking out our Patreon, where if you're a paying patron, you can request a movie. Request, not demand. We will not do Twilight unless we get 100 patrons.
That's fair. That's fair.
So yeah, and we will never do 50 Shades of Grey, no matter how many patrons or who they might be. So until next time, I have been Precious D. My guest has been A. Lee Martinez. Remember to keep watching the skies. We won't see you, but you will hear us next time on Monster Movie Fun Time Go. You've been listening to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. If you enjoyed the show, please consider rating and reviewing us on your podcasting platform of choice. You can leave us a message and find links to all our things at mmftg.com.